Hey cake lovers, so today is going to be more of a sort of relaxed video. We're here near the end of 2021 and it's been another crazy year. I'm talking in terms of the panoramic. I know it's pandemic, but I call it panoramic. I think I thought, like a lot of people thought, that we would be kind of coming to the end of it, and it's just carrying on. It's not, I can't really see an end to it, especially with this new variant that's here. And the government putting stricter their plan B in place, but there's rumours that it's probably going to be even stricter than that. And I'm hoping that doesn't mean another lockdown, because I don't know how I would be able to cope with that. And also, I don't know how businesses, what they class as non-essential businesses, would cope with that as well. And because of the way this government has kind of carried itself and operated, people don't really trust them anymore. They don't trust them anymore. It's kind of do as I say, don't do as I do. So trying to implement that, I think it's going to be really, really hard. But it's just has such a toll on people's physical health, emotional health. I mean, I'll be honest, I've struggled quite a lot in the last couple of years with my mental health in terms of the panoramic. It's just been horrendous, and I know other people have as well. And it's just about getting help and getting support from people, which I have done, which has been really good. But we just got to try and do the best we can, really, in the circumstances. I know I started the video in a bit of a downer, but I just wanted to talk about it because it's still here. We're still living with it. Most pandemics, I think, last about 4 years. So if that's the case, we're here for another 2 years. So I hope that's not the case. But we just need to keep working, keep pushing through it, and see it through to the end, really. So I can't do a video without some cake, can I? So this is Galaxy cake bar, salted caramel. It's 5 in a pack. I'm not sure how much they were. I don't think they were that much. And you can get them in any major supermarket. Let's see what this is like. It's actually quite nice because I'm not a massive fan of Galaxy chocolate. I think it's way too sweet, much sweeter than Cadbury. But it's quite nice. So my journey on YouTube so far, I started this channel in February this year. And what's quite funny, I had a course on how to do YouTube. There's loads of courses about, but you just got to be careful that you don't just spend your money on a load of crap. This course was quite helpful. I actually bought the course about 3 years ago, and I just sat on it because I think when you're starting anything new, you kind of think, oh gosh, what if it doesn't work? I need all this different type of equipment. And I just kind of sat on it, and then I decided this year, at the end of 2020, I decided actually I'm going to actually start it. So I started my channel, like I said, at the end of February. I just use my phone. I use my phone and natural light. And I think I would say that if you want to start a YouTube channel, just start it. Don't worry about getting all this fancy equipment. It's something that you can get along the line if you want to. But just start with what you have, because most phones have quite a good camera to do video on. So just start with that. I really enjoyed my journey, because when I started this channel, I originally was going to do cake tutorials, and if you go to all the way back to the beginning of my channel, you will see there's cake tutorials and stories of my time as a cake baker and decorator, because I have a small side business. But disclaimer, I'm actually closing out this month, and I will do a video in January as to why I've decided to close it. So that's how I started out. But then I kind of thought I actually don't want to do tutorials. And so at the time, Marks and Spencer were bringing out their cake jars, and there was such a big thing about it, even though cake jars have been around for years and years and years. So I thought, okay, let's try and find them and review them. And at the time they brought out 3, but I could only find 2 of them. So I reviewed them, and it really started to take off, that video. And that video that I actually made in April is my most viewed video on the channel, and it still gets views every week. And I thought, okay, so people are interested in doing reviews and that. So that's what I decided to kind of concentrate more on. And then I've done markets, I've done one market, I've done a couple bakeries, I've done some cake cafes. So that's the direction I'm going into. I've recently started doing afternoon teas, which I really enjoy actually. I'm due to go to one on New Year's Eve with a couple of friends, but that all depends on what happens here, if they're going to lock down again, because the vibe at the moment, and I'm recording this on the 10th of December, the vibe at the moment just feels like there's going to be another lockdown. And it's like, if that happens, then the afternoon tea on New Year's Eve would it go ahead? Unlikely, I don't know. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time doing my YouTube, the editing. I quite like the editing. Most people hate it, but I quite like it. And also brainstorming new ideas as well, which is always quite important. So it's been a really interesting journey for my YouTube. So these are Jaffa Cake orange and cranberry flavour, brought out for Christmas. I mean, let's see. God, there's a hint of cranberry in there. That's actually quite nice. I like that one. I mean, yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. I like that one. So what are my plans for 2022? Well, obviously to develop the channel more. I've got lots of ideas, but if there's anything that you'd like me to do in terms of, content for the channel that you want me to review or visit, please let me know. I'm also planning to do more content in terms of visiting places outside London, because I think the problem is you can become so London centric, and I know a lot of people, especially abroad, people think of England, think of London, and I get it because it's the capital city, but there's lots of things happening outside London which I want to look at and explore in terms of bakeries, etc. Especially as I think, me personally, I'm probably not going to be traveling abroad anytime soon, because I know you can, and you got to take your 10 million tests for how much money, but places where I want to go, I just don't want to risk it, that I'm out there and suddenly the government are like, oh, it's gone on the red list because Denise ain't got £2,000 to be quarantined in no hotel when she comes back. So I think holidays abroad are going to be on the back burner for a while, but that just means I'll be doing staycations because there's so many cities here that I haven't visited, and I'll just work that into my content. So yeah, lots more sort of stuff outside, cake cafes, bakeries, afternoon teas, and that's kind of what I plan to do. So, but like I say, if there's anything you want me to review, let me know. Yeah, so that's it. So this is my final video of 2021. I will be taking when this video comes out, it will be coming out, I think it's the 22nd or 23rd. But then the next week, I'm taking a week off, and I'll be back in January with new videos. I just want to say thank you to everybody who supported this channel. If you've ever watched, liked, commented, I really appreciate your support, and I hope you'll be with me in 2022. However you celebrate the festive season, have a good one, have a peaceful new year, and I will see you in 2022. See you then, Kate lovers.